This is Kathy Beal of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of May 11th, 2020. Wow, lots going on this week. We're moving into what I like to call retro Rama, just at the point when everyone is having cabin fever and people are really bucking at the situation that we're all in and getting really antsy to go back to what we think was normal. A slew of planets are going retrograde, and including an inner planet. Now, what does this mean? Well, the outer planets go retrograde every year. The importance is that everywhere you turn, there are reminders of the past. Everywhere you turn, there are motivators, catalysts pushing you deeper into yourself. So just at the moment when people are going stir crazy, the general energies are saying, not so fast, not so fast. Go within yourself for answers. This week, 1, 2, 3 planets go retrograde. One already is. That's Pluto. And now that astrology is the provenance of anyone who thinks they know anything on the internet, you have probably run into somebody rambling on about the importance of each individual retrograde. Let's look at them as a collective influence since they're all happening at once. The outer planets always go retrograde every year. This is not abnormal. Pluto went retrograde last month, taking us deeper into whatever the big subterranean shifts, transformations, metamorphoses are that we're all going through, bringing, let's say, corruption more and more to the surface, insupportability, collapse. And I'm talking on a personal level as well as a collective level. And this week, Saturn, planet of adulting, ruler of structure, is retrograde. Venus, who rules everything we value, and especially how we relate to each other, retrogrades. I'll talk about that in detail in a second. And then Jupiter. So the 3 outer planets that have been creating this constant cauldron of metamorphic change, Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto, are retrograde, pushing us back deeper to re-examine, re-explore, reconsider all of the huge evolutionary level, structural, foundational changes that we have been experiencing all year. And in the midst of this, when we're away from many people, when contact with other humans is limited, the planet that rules our socializing also goes retrograde. She's in the sign of Gemini, which is Chatterbox Central. It is Flibberty Gibbet territory. It is let's be light, let's be gay, let's make jokes, it's short attention span theater. It lends lightness to everything that's going on right now. I don't mean to disparage it. A lot of people from the past are going to be popping up in our social media feeds, in actual contact, in our dreams, in our thoughts. And I have the suspicion that being separate from so many people plays into taking a different look at how we have related in the past, who our friends are, what we have looked for in a relationship. And it's happening on a stage that is not allowing us to get up close and personal. So it is a highly philosophical, mental, objective exercise, or an exercise with distance. Venus is going to be retrograde until the 25th of June, so we have a good long stretch, 5-6 weeks, and she's working over territory that's involved in the next eclipse family that starts this summer, Gemini, Sagittarius eclipses, which are going to reboot the entire notion of information flow, communication, where we get our information, how we talk, what vehicles and avenues we use to express it. And on the other end, the systems of thoughts, the belief systems, the rules, the laws that we then set up based on the information that we have gathered. So, things that are happening starting now are part of the groundwork for the 2.5 to 3 year revisiting that we're going to be doing under the Gemini Sagittarius eclipses. And our minds are already going to be heading there because Mercury, the planet that rules communication and how we get around, is flitting into his Gemini home on the 11th as the week starts. And he makes a very quick dash through that. He will be out of it by the end of the month. So our social interactions, our social mode, our values, and the way we're talking and thinking are all going into high-flying, let's keep it light, let's make jokes, let's not dive too deeply, Gemini, while everything else in the sky pretty much is saying, oh no, dive really deeply. So this double dose of Gemini presaging the eclipse family may let some of the steam off, may give us a break from the relentless intensity. With all of these retrogrades occurring simultaneously, one usual astrological maxim really holds true, and that is pretty much every verb you can think of, put RE hyphen in front of it. We are revisiting, redoing pretty much everything. Retrogrades do give the possibility, do give the opportunity to finish stuff that we left hanging, to undo confusion, to bring some clarity and resolution. So it's not all tripping on our feet or drumming our fingers on the tabletop and saying, come on already. We can actually have some fun. Don't be surprised if you find yourself thinking about hearing from, communicating with people you went to school with, people you used to just sort of play with or party with or just have lighthearted fun with. You can rediscover parts of yourself through this, actually. Revisit interests you used to have, revisit, explore, integrate various people you used to be. A couple of influences worth watching for as we begin this lovely introspective journey. At the beginning of the week, there is motivating, catalyzing communication. There's something where either we're challenged to walk our talk or we hear something that really makes us angry or gets us off our feet, gets us going. As Mercury squares Mars on the 11th, then very soon we find stability, we find the walls, something locks into place, something is more grounded, something is calmer, find some structure as Mercury trines Saturn on the 12th. And then our motivation kind of moves into softness, gentleness, backhandedness, maybe wishy-washiness, when Mars moves into Pisces on the 13th. Now, Mars in a water sign is kind of tricky. Mars in Pisces is especially tricky. Mars is geared toward action, toward forward movement, towards making things happen. What happens when you push water? Like when you're swimming, what happens? You have to fight against it or it comes back at you. Often there are unintended consequences, kind of a backhandedness. So Mars moving into Pisces tempers a lot of what we do. And he's moving toward, it's going to take him a while to get there, but he's moving toward Neptune, the great illusionist, which means there could be a growing element of not knowing what's real even more or what's illusion. And keep in mind that is happening with communication and relating being in the sign of Gemini, in real trickster energy, in real don't pin me down energy, in a mode that can sometimes, misrepresent. And then as we get into the weekend, we have a deep moment of coming to grips with our changed circumstances, our changed identities, our changed selves. We're moving from confronting and processing to actually incorporating big, big changes in ourselves as the sun trines Pluto, which is an effortless kind of psychic surgery and reprioritizing, and the sun trines Jupiter, which makes the process bigger and bigger and bigger. Look for the silver lining. Look for what ultimately benefits you. Which leads to the homing thought of the week. Show me how this benefits me. Song of the week, I've got two, and they're old. Add your own. Turn Around, Look at Me by the Vogues, and Do I Have to Do This All Over Again by the Monkees from the really weird cult film Head. And the image of the week is looking at photographs from your teens and 20s. Watch my site for new talks and products having to do with Venus in Gemini retrograde and also the Gemini Sagittarius eclipses. They have not rolled out yet. They will be at empowermentunlimited.net, where you can also sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. You'll find lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Beal. And I want to thank all the people who are supporting me there and keeping these podcasts available for everyone. Hint, hint. There's lively discussion always at my Facebook page, Empowerment Unlimited, and my group, the Astro-Insight Lounge. I'm on Instagram at KABeal and on YouTube at The Professional Aquarian Channel. Talk to you next week.